Good evening. You're watching The Right Stand with me, Poonam Borde. We're in election season. Unfortunately, political discourse does venture into slurs and personal insults, downright abuses. In an ideal world, those that have no place in electoral politics. But we live far from an ideal world. In reality, the discourse seems to dip with every election. The latest controversy is the one that the Congress is mired in. Supriya Shrinate has landed in trouble after her Instagram handle posted a rather distasteful and sexist comment against actor and BJP candidate Kangana Ranaut. What made matters worse was that a woman politician, one who's contested elections herself in the past, was caught on the back foot with that remark. Now, Supriya Shrinate has distanced herself from the post, claiming that she didn't personally write it or she didn't wet it, and it was a member of a team that actually did it. But does that absolve her of all responsibility? While the BJP pounced on the Congress over targeting Kangana Ranaut, their own leader in Bengal gave the opposition an opportunity it needed. Dilip Ghosh, who is set to contest from Durgapur in West Bengal, made an uncalled-for remark against the Chief Minister of West Bengal, a woman Chief Minister, the only woman Chief Minister in this country. Women seem to be easy targets when it comes to such crass comments. Those who hail from the entertainment industry especially invariably face these insults. Even women parliamentarians are not spared, let alone candidates. 48% of the electorate in this country is women. They turn out in large numbers to exercise their right on polling day. Is this the ideal that we set for them? Do we, the women, the class, deserve this kind of discourse? And will we, the women, decide who their vote goes to based on those comments? We speak of Naari Shakti, we speak of women being the silent voters, but are politicians taking this class of voters seriously? And if they're not, will it cost them this election dearly? Before we open that up, let's take you through what's happened today. Now, in the last several weeks, Rahul Gandhi's uses of the word Shakti triggered a massive storm. The BJP was quick to point out that this was an attack on the female divine worshipped in Hinduism. Now you have a female leader from the Congress party, herself seen as attacking another woman, a candidate from the BJP. Here's what the Instagram post that was put out from Supriya Shrinate's handle said. The one that was promptly deleted yesterday. It had a picture of Kangana Ranaut there with a text that translates to, "Does anyone know what the going rate in Mandi is?" To which Supriya Shrinate clarified that anyone who knows her will know that she will never use such a language against anyone, and that many within her team have access to her social media accounts. She said that someone other than her had made that inappropriate post, one of her team members who had access to her credentials. She also then pointed out that there are some parody accounts running in her name, specifically on the social media platform X. She also then said that she had made these reports, she had filed reports with the social media platform about her name being misused. But does that clarification cut any ice? Does it shield her from all the blame? The political fireworks aside, can Supriya Shrinate just pass the buck on this? Well, no. And here's why. She heads the Congress's social media and digital platforms. So not only is she responsible for her own social media footprint, she is also responsible for that of the party, which means she should be doubly careful. All posts on her account are vetted at least 3 levels is what we're given to understand. She has about 6 members in her social media team who have access to her accounts. The ones behind this particular post were perhaps one of them. We've learned that the said person has been identified as well. And this is routine. All political parties, all public celebrities or public personalities have a team that run their social media accounts. But does that give her alibi enough, and does that give her room enough to shirk that responsibility? Now let's give Supriya Shrinate the benefit of the doubt. She perhaps saw the post only after it was put out like the world did. But could the damage have been contained? She came out with a clarification, but even then there is no apology. It may have been a team member's derogatory post, but she could have taken the responsibility and apologized. Also, when you often accuse your rivals of lowering discourse, shouldn't you hold yourself to a higher standard? Those are the questions that are being asked of Supriya Shrinate and of the Congress party. Now, as the BJP fumes over India Bloc's insult to Kangana Ranaut, the opposition has called out the Saffron Party's hypocrisy. They are pointing to BJP's MP from Bengal, Dilip Ghosh's remark. In a video that has now gone viral, Dilip Ghosh is heard saying that Mamata Banerjee calls herself the daughter of whichever state she visits. He asked the Chief Minister to identify her own father. The remark then sparked massive furor. The TMC and the Congress up in arms against the BJP. The Trinamool Congress has launched a complaint with the Election Commission as well. Sushmita Dev of the TMC came out and said that this is the RSS's ideology against women. Babul Supriyo, another member from the TMC, came out and said that this is the mindset of not just Dilip Ghosh but of the entire Saffron Party as a whole. Supriya Shrinate, who herself is in the midst of a controversy, she too came out and said Dilip Ghosh is a cheap man. She may not have come out and apologized about her comment and the controversy she triggered, but she definitely had something to say of the BJP. No political party can claim higher ground on this. Women are silent voters in this country. They're an influential bloc, and politicians across party lines cannot ignore women voters. So then, the discourse that we are seeing from both sides this time around, is that going to impact the big 2024 clash?
किसी भी सूरत में सार्वजनिक जीवन में भद्दी भोंडी व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणियों के खिलाफ हूं। न मैंने ऐसा कभी किया है और न मैं कर सकती हूं। मेरा यकीन है महिलाओं के खिलाफ मैं आपत्तिजनक शब्दों का प्रयोग ही नहीं कर सकती हूं।
मंडी जिसे छोटा काशी कहा जाता है, जहाँ पे ऋषि पराशर से लेकर ऋषि मार्कंडेय जी ने तपस्या की है, उसके बारे में इतनी भद्दी टिप्पणी, तो हम सब मंडी वासी जो हैं वो बहुत ही कष्ट हमें हुआ है इस चीज़ को लेकर।
দিদি কি গোয়াতে বলেন আমি গোয়ার মেয়ে ত্রিপুরায় আমি ত্রিপুরার মেয়ে আমার বাপ তো ঠিক করো যাত্রার মেয়ে হওয়া ঠিক।
Joining me on this broadcast, Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Subhashini Yadav, spokesperson of the Congress, Professor Geeta Bhatt, political analyst, and Tausifur Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC, joins us on this broadcast. Let me open this up by asking the spokesperson of the Congress first. Do you think the Congress could have done better? Supriya Shrinate could have done better? We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps she didn't see it. But is that enough for her to absolve herself of all blame?
Good evening, everyone. So over here, I don't see there is anything much to discuss. I don't understand why, when we are going into the national elections and we are going to elect our next government in next few months, why are we discussing all this? What is the relevance of this? Are we discussing the real core agendas and the core problems of this country? Are you saying
a woman candidate being denigrated, being insulted is not relevant enough? She's a candidate herself.
So Miss Supriya Shrinate has already given her explanation on this. But I don't think this is a very relevant matter in the nation currently. And secondly, if we come to what the history of this particular candidate, I don't even want to take name of her. The history of this particular candidate has been anti-woman. She has never been a woman of substance. She has never supported any woman. She has made derogatory comments against our colleague Urmila Matondkar ji. Nobody has raised that issue. Why was this not discussed on the national television? Like this time it has been discussed. Why are we diverting from the issues? Who is she to comment on her own colleagues like Taapsee Pannu? Who is she who is not taking up the issues of Manipur? Why is she not taking the issues of Manipur? Hathras Unnav, why was she silenced then? Why is the national...
What has that got to do with the post that came out yesterday?
Listen to me, madam. I'm saying, why is the NCW not taking any action against her on these issues? When she gave derogatory remarks on Urmila Matondkar ji, why did the NCW did not take any action against her? How can she call she was also a candidate of Congress. We could have also asked for an apology. We did ask for an apology.
Sure.
Why didn't she come forward and told the NCW that why she's using a word like soft porn actress?
Sure. So nobody is trying to absolve Kangana Ranaut. Sure, nobody is trying to absolve Kangana Ranaut of any blame here. But is that reason enough for someone to denigrate her is the question I asked you.
I'm coming on that. I'm saying Miss Shrinate is a dignified Congress member. She has always respected women in all sphere of life. She is the social media head of our party. She, on whatsoever occasions, she has taken up the issues, whether it was the women walking naked on the streets of Manipur. She was the lady who rode in the country. She was the lady who fought for the Hathras women.
Sure.
She was the lady who raised the issues of women wrestlers who sat on the roads. Why didn't Kangana Ranaut ji came forward and helped her? By making movies on certain personality doesn't make you relevant in Indian politics. You are not.
And that
there,
has got nothing to do with, and that the voters will decide whether she is relevant in Indian politics, whether she deserves their vote or not. The voters of Mandi will decide.
She is a hatred entertainer. She spreads hatred in the country. She has no place in the Indian democracy and the Indian parliament. I must tell you. She doesn't deserve to be in the house. Who is anti-reservation? The lady who's anti-reservation, who doesn't understand the meaning of reservation, how an oppressed society can cope up in this country.
Sure.
Somebody.
Sure, you may have you may have differences with her. She may be a polarizing figure as you claim she is. I'll give you that. But is that reason enough to denigrate her the way she was done? That was the question I asked you. I want to.
Shrinate has not denigrated her.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. There was a post that came from Miss Shrinate's. There was a post that came from Miss Shrinate's Instagram account or not?
I'm saying she's already given the had it been she was a dishonest woman, she would have not come forward and gave this clarification also. She would have not owed this much also.
Her clarification is that one of my team members did it.
Yeah, so
but are you not responsible as a team leader? She's not owning up to anything. She's not owning up to anything. She didn't come forward and say that my team member did it, but I apologize for the damage done.
Unlike the ruling party who's not owing up this disaster which in last 10 years we've been suffering, the nation has been suffering, she's owing it up.
I don't think the others on this panel will agree that she's owned up anything, but Shazia Almi, let me get you in. Sure. Let me get in the other panelists as well. Let me get in the other panelists as well. Shazia Almi, the Congress says she's come out and clarified and that should be enough.
You know, sometimes people think that offense is the best form of defense. I'm disgusted by the remarks made by my colleague from Congress party. I mean, you know, another woman, and I'm quite shocked to hear the kind of visceral hatred she has for Kangana ji, and the kind of filthy insinuations that she's made just now, that she's a hatred entertainer, the kind of woman she is, she doesn't deserve to be there. Who are you to sit in judgment, ma'am? Who are you to sit in judgment? Should I judge you and say you're not fit to be here? Should we all sit in judgment and say Supriya Shrinate is not fit to be there where she is? Should we all get together and say Priyanka Gandhi Vadra should not be there where she is? Who are we? Who are you to decide where Kangana should be or not be? So I am appalled at the language used by the Congress spokesperson right now. Kangana has been a brilliant actress. I'm very glad she's there. She's stepping into politics. But to write about Mandi and rate, and to also have somebody like Mrinal Pandey, who's part of the general ecosystem at her age, and what we... So, you know, basically, we all realize that all this pseudo-sophistication, refinement, all those values they talk about are all fake. They are so street sharp at the end of the day that this is the way they talk about a woman. You know, you raised the question of Dilip Ghosh ji, and I think what he said and what he insinuated, I don't understand Bangla, but whatever he said, and if he meant what you people are saying, it is wrong. When TMC, when Nusrat Jahan was being talked about in a very nasty manner, filthy and obscene things were being said, I was the first one, and even many people in my party said, no, it's wrong. It doesn't matter that she's from TMC. But you see the hatred shown and the language used, and absolutely the guttural level and the viciousness in the language, the verbal violence implicit in the speaker who spoke before me, Ms. Yadav. I am shocked.
No, but Shazia ji, you are just back and forth with such comments.
I'll get you in. But I want to respond only to the anchor. Please, give me a few minutes. Sir, I will get you in. Give me a few minutes. Shazia Almi, the question I want to ask you is...
And Tausif also must answer on Sandesh Kali. It is Mamata Banerjee. Shockingly, I will answer Tausif. It is Mamata Banerjee who did not pay heed to the cries of those poor women.
I know you since
Let's not digress here. Let's not digress here. Shazia Almi, because you said that you do not agree with what Dilip Ghosh
You
said.
allowed her to digress. She went all over. No. You allowed her to go to
And I'm allowing you to finish your point as well. I asked Tausifur Rahman. Shazia Almi, I'm giving you your time. I am giving you your time to speak here. I'm asking Tausifur Rahman to hold on. All I'm asking is...
Do you know the cases? Do you know the little girls, Dalit girls who have been raped, paraded naked in Ashok Gehlot's government? You know what all has happened over there?
Sure, and when all of those cases came, we debated that here. So let's talk about... Sure, but let's talk about what has happened now, Shazia Almi.
Spoke about everything else,
Sure.
but about Kangana.
Sure.
And I will talk about Kangana Ranaut.
Absolutely, and that is exactly what we're here to talk about. But I also want to talk about Dilip Ghosh, and you said that you agreed that what he said was not right. Would we then expect an apology from him?
Yes.
Would we then expect the party to nudge him in that direction if it doesn't come, if it's not forthcoming?
I'm telling you right now, anybody from my party says anything that is derogatory, I apologize, because I don't think it's a place to do that. I mean, I'm just hearing this on your channel that he said something in Bangla. And I'm sure he will apologize. I'm sure if this is what he insinuated and this is what it means, then I apologize. But I don't see Supriya Shrinate making any apology.
Sure.
She says the fall guy is Devesh.
We'll hold Dilip Ghosh to that. We'll hold the BJP to that as well.
Her account and the parody account both have the same admin.
Sure.
Have the same admin.
Sure, and parody account or not,
so why
parody
lie
account
about
or
it?
not, your team, anybody's team should be able to make
No,
the
the
difference,
admin is
have
the
that
same.
differentiation
When you verify
between
and
what
when
you're
you
putting
verify-
out. There has to be some amount of vetting, especially if the fact that Supriya Shrinate is not just somebody from within the Congress party or a Congress leader, but she heads the party's social media as well. But Tausifur Rahman, the BJP says it's just a matter of time before Dilip Ghosh comes and apologizes. What he said is wrong, Shazia Almi. Is that enough to convince you?
Poonam, I'm
What
hearing
about Sandesh Khali? Have you apologized
I really
to him
respect
once
Shazia.
about all the
Shazia
women out there?
Almi, let him answer my
Shazia ji,
question. I'll come back to you.
कहता है तो बड़ी तकलीफ होती है.
नहीं शाजिया जी, आप बात समझिए ना. मैं आपको रिस्पेक्ट करता हूँ and I really appreciate what you have said right now. But sometimes we don't need apologies from such people. I understand we have differences. I understand we have some different ideology. I understand you and me need to attack politically. I do understand everything. But why every time you need to attack Mamata Bandyopadhyay personally as being a woman? We understand we have political differences. We need to attack. But you cannot negotiate the dignity of a woman, Shazia ji. I respect you a lot. I know you since Aam Aadmi Party. I have worked
Absolutely.
with you. It's nothing new, and I know how you are.
I agree with you.
And thanks.
I agree with you. But what about the
But I tell you what he said.
By the same logic? How are they treated?
Shazia ji, they have not defended Sandesh Khali.
Mamata Banerjee is the chief minister.
It's a very sensitive.
Those women had nobody. Those women had nobody, you know.
Shazia ji, wait. Poonam, just give me 30 seconds. What he said, Shazia ji, you need to know. He said when Didi goes to Tripura, she says I'm Tripura mein. When she goes to Goa, she says I'm Goa mein. मतलब मैं जब त्रिपुरा जाती हूँ, मैं त्रिपुरा की बेटी हूँ. गोवा जाती हूँ, मैं गोवा की बेटी हूँ. दिलीप घोष साहब ये कह रहे हैं कि उनके बाप का पता लगाओ कि उनके बाप कहाँ है. Are you serious?
That is your insinuation. Did Dilip Ghosh say that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No. You just said
that.
Shazia
Almi, he did. Bangla. I can tell you in Bangla.
Yeah.
Nijar
so if he said that,
if
this is what he said, then I don't agree with it, and he's wrong to say that.
Shazia ji,
he said it's not correct. You cannot say this. I've already said it. Now you please answer on Sandesh Khali. I've already answered that.
I'm not completed yet. I'm not completed yet.
Sandesh Khali. So the
Shazia ji, I will answer. We can have this debate till 9 o'clock.
When I've already apologized.
Shazia ji, we can have this debate this 9 o'clock.
Sandesh Khali, will you apologize?
I have done more than 50 shows on Sandesh Khali and have not defended anyone. It's a sensitive issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the candidate of Sandesh Khali.
Sexual assault.
Okay, we appreciate that. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi never called the women of Manipur. He never called the women from Unnao and Hathras. Why so? He should have called the women in
Why?
Manipur. He should call the
No,
women in
I don't
Hathras
see the
and Unnao.
connection. No, don't go all over the place.
He spoke to the
don't
women of
go all over
Sandesh
the
Khali,
place.
the candidate.
Because, no, please don't
Okay,
go all over
let me
the place.
intervene
of
here.
Sandesh Khali.
Okay, let me
Why not?
intervene here. Tausifur
why don't
you
Rahman,
want to
Tausifur
say-
Rahman, let me intervene
What
here.
about
I get
you
your
will not
point.
help?
I get your point. I get your point. But the BJP spokesperson on this panel has come out and said that she will hold Dilip Ghosh to apologize. We are holding Dilip Ghosh to that. Let's hope that apology is
Dilip
forthcoming.
Ghosh
We will hold
candidate
Dilip Ghosh
should get
and
rejected.
Supriya
His
Shrinate to the
candidate
same
should get
standards.
rejected, Poonam.
Sure.
उनका कैंडिडेटेशन रिजेक्ट होना चाहिए.
Sure, and
He's
that's
not
a plea,
supposed
and
to
that's a
contest
plea the
election.
TMC. Sure, that's the plea the TMC would make to the EC, I'm sure, and that's the EC's call to take. But
मतलब
let me get it.
आप
Sure.
किसी औरत को ये बोलेंगे कि आप जाके उनके बाप का पता करो. आप
आप
किसी औरत को ये
औरतों
Sure,
को
the EC,
आप
the poll
rape
panel in
करेंगे उन
this
औरतों
case,
का.
the
You
poll
will rape
panel in
women.
this case will
The women will be
intervene.
raped. The land
Shazia,
will
give
be
me a
grabbed.
second, please.
They'll have sexual molestation. They'll be taken to TMC office.
Shazia, give me a second,
No,
please.
he's
Well,
saying-
let's
Shazia
bring
ji,
this
I
back on
totally
track.
understand
When
what
we
you
spoke
are
of
saying.
Sandesh Khali, we spoke of Sandesh
That's
Khali.
all
Let's
right.
talk about the issue at hand. Right now, the comments that have been made by Dilip Ghosh and the post that was put
Is he
out
talking
by
about-
Supriya
is he talking about
Shrinate's
the situation at
Instagram
hand?
yesterday, that's the subject that we're talking about at hand. And Professor Geeta Bhatt, I want to get you in. You've been patiently listening in to all that's happened. Allegations will keep flying in thick and fast from all sides.
Right.
But we're talking about the voter class the women are. They're an influential voter class. Everybody wants to benefit from this. They're believed to be the silent voters. Is this class going to decide their vote based on what we hear and what we see? Is this going to have an impact?
Poonamji, with this election season, a level of discourse, it is hitting a new low with every passing day. And it is very unfortunate that somehow some of the political parties, they are just refusing to introspect. And imagine, on your program, I am listening to what the Congress spokesperson was saying. Holding a moral high ground after such an explicitly derogatory post that has been made, a very sexist post down to, it's really what we call as hitting below the belt. And on top of that, as you also mentioned in your remarks, not even apologizing. Had Supriya Shrinate ji apologized for it, she represents the Congress party. When she is the social media head, she is representing the thought process, the culture of a political organization. And on top of that, she is, she's coming out and explaining whatever explanation she has given. One apology, and this could have been, it could have been toned down. All this controversy would have toned down. But unfortunately, those who have, debated with Supriya ji, she was a very good TV anchor long decades ago. But, those who are, I personally feel, who are a little short on, their scholarship, they tend to be more louder on the debates and discussions. And that is something, and on top of that, coming out with this kind of a post and not even apologizing for it, it speaks volumes about the culture in a political organization called Congress. But at the same time, what has come out in terms of what the political leader from BJP, Mr. Dilip Ghosh has said, and the way it has been interpreted, is something which no one can stand for. And it is something, and I appreciate Shazia ji, that she has taken a step forward and has rather apologized on behalf of her political counterpart in her own party. That this is something which is something not which is absolutely not right. Now that is another story that Mamata Banerjee herself is blindfolded when women are being disgustedly raped, molested in her own state.
Sure,
And,
but that does not give
the
anyone
kind
the
of,
right to use the kind of language that Dilip Ghosh did, and let's
Absolutely,
make that
absolutely.
clear as day.
That's a
Absolutely,
total
I
different case.
totally
We do
agree with you,
understand.
but the point here is like,
Sandesh Khali, we never backed out from Sandesh Khali,
Khali.
Geeta ji. We never backed out from Sandesh Khali, Geeta ji. We totally understand the sensitivity of Sandesh Khali.
Sure, but
We
Tausifur
totally
Rahman, many would
understand
disagree
what
with
happened
what the
to Sandesh
TMC's
Khali.
reaction was as far as Sandesh Khali went, and that the TMC could have done more. But let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Can I get 10 seconds?
Yes,
Poonamji?
yes,
Can I get 10
yes.
seconds?
Yes, finish your point.
Yeah, I wanted to put forth there that in such, when a woman is being slurred upon, what required is that people should rise above their political affiliations and be honest in terms. And one small example I want to put forth. That is when the UPA government Home Minister Mr. Sushil Sindhe, in the parliament, he was very, very disrespectful to Jaya Bachchan. And she in fact told him that, this is a serious matter being discussed. Ye koi filmi baatein nahi ho rahi hain. This is not films which are being discussed. And it was Mr. Arun Jaitley who, although was not from the same political party, he stood up and objected and defended that she is a parliamentarian and as a woman she needs to be respected. Her point of view as a parliamentarian needs to be respected in the house. So this is the kind of an example that we need to set. And I think women voters, they are observing these kind of discussions, and Indian women are mature enough to actually see through that who is, honest enough to make a submission, honestly accept if there is a fault, and those who are putting a fuss and trying to protect false statements and false posts.
Sure. And Subhashini Yadav, the damage was done once the post was out. But could the damage have been limited? That's what many people within the Congress, is what we've learned, are also asking. We did see several leaders come out on social media and go on to defend Supriya Shrinate and say that this is not her language. She would never say things like these. Fair enough. But unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from the top brass of the Congress party. And we haven't heard an apology or a show cause being given to Supriya Shrinate. Do we know on public record if action has been taken against the team member who put out that post?
Should I speak now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Poonamji, it seems like in the country that NCW only works for women working in BJP. First of all, what I have gauged from this debate. Because Manipur Hathras...
I haven't mentioned the NCW even once, ma'am.
I am please giving my point. Let me complete it, madam.
Sure.
Because Manipur, Hathras, Unnao and Urmila Matondkar, Ankita Bhandari, Sonia Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee ji, they have no respect in this country. They are not respected women of this country as per the BJP spokesperson over here. Meaning there is no respect for the common daughters of the country. I think this is what we feel. Supriya Shrinate ji has given clarification. It is a matter of investigation, definitely. She herself raises her voice very vocally towards women and for the upliftment of the women, as I've already mentioned in my last take. No one has right to play with the honor of women, be it the Prime Minister or anybody else who is the part of the BJP. Every rapist, every person who's against women has this right. Right? Now, we talk about Kangana Ranaut ji, who's someone anti-reservation, who does not believe in the ideology of constitution. What I have said, I will stick to my words. She doesn't deserve to be in the Indian Parliament.
Sure. And like I said, you made all of these points in your opening remarks as well. And like I said, the voters will decide that. I don't think we here should be passing that judgment, to be honest, Subhashini Yadav.
The Prime Minister has targeted Mamata Banerjee ji, who is a respectful Chief Minister of this country.
I don't think Rahul Gandhi deserves to be in Indian Parliament.
Life in service of people of Bengal. Why is the BJP not taking action against the people who are giving derogatory comment against Sonia Gandhi?
And the way Adhir Ranjan talks about her and mocks her day after day. Yes, how convenient.
I said this right at the beginning of the show. Subhashini Yadav. We cannot debate like this. I request all of you all to please not interrupt each other. We cannot have a debate like this. I want to get in Subhashini Yadav. The point I was trying to make and the question I was trying to ask you is, I am not saying the Congress is the only one.
She doesn't deserve to be a representative of Indian Parliament.
That's not for the Congress to decide, ma'am. That's for the voters to decide.
She will go in the house and speak nothing for the upliftment of the society. She will do nothing for the poor or oppressed.
Sure, that may be your opinion.
I dare her if she raises these issues like whatever I mentioned.
Sure.
I challenge this thing.
That may be your opinion of her. But whether she is fit to be in the Parliament or not, the voters of Mandi will decide. Give them the opportunity.
Why is Smriti Irani silent on certain issues? I'm afraid, is she the Minister for the Women Empowerment? Is she the one who's not speaking on these issues?
What issues are we talking about here?
Forward?
Why don't you let others come in?
India.
Poonam, I want to
Sure.
come in. Poonam, I want to
Sure.
come in.
Unfortunately, Subhashini Yadav, yes, Shazia Almi, I'm getting you in. Shazia Almi, I'm getting you in. Subhashini Yadav, unfortunately, you haven't answered the question I asked you. But Shazia Almi, go ahead.
In the parliament.
No, unfortunately, Subhashini Yadav, I gave you a time, but you haven't
She has
answered my
gone on a
question.
rant
Shazia Almi,
without
go ahead.
answering a single question.
Yes, Shazia
Let
Almi,
me
go
if I
ahead.
start reading out about 3,000 and more rapes that have happened just during Ashok Gehlot's reign, she will run away. And not just that, it's her opinion that Kangana doesn't deserve to be there. The whole country feels that Rahul Gandhi doesn't deserve to be there. The whole country feels that Sonia Gandhi doesn't deserve to be there. They're here because of dynastic succession. They all believe that. A whole lot of people believe that Congress party and nobody should be in power because they've done nothing. Talk about Smriti Irani, what did she do? And what did Rahul Gandhi do for so many years? Do you know the condition Amethi was in? Shame on you. I mean, if you were to see what has happened there, you will realize that Rahul Gandhi never deserved to be anywhere close to
Sure.
something called the parliament. So
Sure.
please don't make judgments about another lady without knowing her. I want to stop you and please desist from making such obnoxious, misogynistic, hateful remarks against another woman. Talking about Mandi and raid is so unbecoming. It is outright shameful. Azam Khan said something terrible about Jayaprada. It was so filthy, I can't repeat it. And Akhilesh Yadav did not say a word. Many years back, I remember DMK, how horribly they treated Jayalalitha and the filthy things they said about her. I know the comments made that against Hema Malini and all
Shazia
kinds
ji,
of wretched
Shazia
things
ji,
have been
this is
said.
the problem.
Whether
This is the
Smriti Irani
problem.
herself,
The way-
horrible things have
I
been
said
said
this right at the
about
outset.
women.
This is
everything.
not about
Things
one
have been
political
said.
party.
I
This
went
is
to
about
the-
politicians
let me finish.
unfortunately
You did not
cutting
let me finish.
across
This man
political
keeps
party
heckling.
lines
This
who've
man
gone
keeps
to this
heckling.
discourse.
How many days are you
This
going to
man
Kangana
keeps
Ranaut in
heckling.
the house? How many
No,
days
unfortunately,
did Sunny
unfortunately,
Deol
I'm
attended
completely
the
out
house?
of time here.
Why are you
Like I said
completely
right at
very
the
bad
outset,
business
like I said
with
right at the outset of this show, unfortunately, politicians cutting across party lines have let us down with the kind of discourse that we saw. Every political party should do better. That's really what the women voters in this country want. I have to leave it at that. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective.